Well, thank you. Can you hear me? Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you, Gina and Jeff, for accepting my work. And it's great to be here with people who appreciate there really is no wall between the surreal and the real. I will read you 4 poems that no 2 from the same collection. Hillary puts down her bow. After a performance by violinist Hillary Hahn. The swish of wings on the Pacific flyway whispers the close of another season, brings a pair of golden-crowned sparrows, exhausted, to our patio in Oakland, where they crack open the seed I spoon out. On the other side of the glass door, we listen to Chacon Pratita, a lament and dance for a love lost to death, a passage which Hillary traverses through the reaches of her bow. This virtuoso, etheric daughter in this barrenness articulates by the lilt of finger what the weight of the tongue cannot. The wanting tamped down within your husk touches the frequency that unfurls your wings, that lift you over the gulf between us, where there is no resting place, carries you toward me on a quickening of notes, and when you slow, because you are tired, so tired, ready to welcome the waves, you look up at me and see that I hear what you do. The birds replete, return to flight, and Hillary puts down her bow. This next poem, the date refers to the time when people might be able to go back into the center of Chernobyl where the nuclear disaster occurred. Reoccupation of the inner zone, Chernobyl, 2161. Careful not to let the needles puncture, I bushwhack through the last hedge of sprawling evergreen to reach the boundary below 10 millisieverts now. Sunflowers aflame in the zone. Straps of spider webbing gum up the lenses of my goggles. A white-crowned sparrow with crooked bill startles into flight. Sweat rolls off leathery skin, rubbed hairless inside my suit. I see where the wheels of the robots have left traces, but the ghost people, seen out of the corner of my eye, back when I became a gamma sponge at 6, lost alone in the pines, bareheaded after her dare to trespass. They're absent. She never reappeared. The detector so far remains silent. Birch by the cabin. Before you came, the repose had already been shattered by a day that dawned in a roar. I felt the earth vibrate through my paper-smooth body. I saw my brethren fall, shoved into burns, a pile of bodies stacked on the raw wound of earth skinned up to my shank. Detritus of a high tide expiring into the white, whitening the sky. Do you know what it's like to be spared? To witness the terror of others, the memory the rest of your life? When you came, the cabin already enclosed the emptiness of this great clean clearing that dominated the window. And the woman with you, wrapped up in its blanket, beseeched you not to travel away. You broke down the berms and cut up the logs, planted grass and dug a pond with a shovel that bruised my roots. You traveled away often. On the cold days, I watched smoke exit from the chimney, her anguish writing the last breath of my kin burning in your fireplace. Before she left, she sometimes traveled with you, but the illness fell her into your bed. Her eyes chased memory on the ceiling, white as my reflection in the pond outside your window that summer. When she began to exhale her last, you pleaded with her to stay. Now I see you sit in a chair, the place where the bed was, your face asking why she is so absent. And this last poem is dedicated to the cat in the house, who suddenly sometimes appears over the balcony. The neighbor next door. I startled to see the neighbor next door, already up tending his garden when I let out the cat. He nods as I scurry down the driveway in my robe to pick up the paper that recalls old stories with new people. I leave the house before noon, one hand holding car keys, the other clutching pleasantries to post. He looks up and smiles. From the strawberries, plump and plentiful, their excursions restrained to one patch. He asks how I am doing. I think of my will waiting to be written, debts on hold, but say, I am fine and dandy. I return after a run in the maze of errands and a near miss on the highway, to find he has pinched out the weary blooms of the once profuse daisies. Few survivors remain. He now has the pruners ready to trim back the lilac bushes. He asks, did I have a good trip? I think of the ache that persists in my spine, but breathe, yes, and mention how cool the weather has become. I open the door at dusk to call for the cat who does not appear. The neighbor next door is raking leaves. They are falling faster now, their skin thinned and creped, their color leached into earth. I squint out the window to see if the cat has come back. Instead, I catch my neighbor as he leans over the pile of leaves, ready to strike a match. Thank you.